Hey everybody, it's Marvina, and I wanted to welcome you to my Angel Q&A today. So in this video, I'm going to go over some information about our heart chakra and some different things that you can do to clear out any debris or any issues that might be lodged inside of your own heart chakra. So I want to welcome everybody that's hopping on the page today. And I also would like it if you would put your name in the comments and where you're tuning in from, because this is a way for you to kind of symbolically create a link over here into my circle and create an intention for your desires today. So welcome everybody. The first thing that you want to do is light a candle. So if you have like a little tea candle or really any kind of candle, you can light a candle. That is a universal way of just sending out a signal to the universe that you align yourself with the light. And it also is a great way to call in your own angels, your own master guides and teachers. If you want to, you can burn some incense, maybe a little bit of smudge, get your crystals that are special to you, and anything that puts you in mind of the angelic realm that you feel like supports you. The biggest thing that you want to do, though, is just really dial down into your heart center and think about what is the biggest thing that you would like to work with regarding your angels. Because our desire and our clarity of intention, that is the biggest pull to being able to actually get some information, get some clues that can help you to make progress on your soul path here today. So light some candles, burn some incense, create your intention, and write in the comments your name and where you're tuning in from. And a little bit later, you can write down whatever questions that you might have for your own angels. So our heart chakra is a very important center because symbolically, it's like the bridge between the lower ego part of ourself and our higher self. And so once we're able to engage with all of the challenges of the heart chakra, and there's 33 chambers in the heart chakra. So that means that each one of those chambers represents a petal. And whenever they're open, it's kind of like the heart center has all of these beautiful petals that just open up, and they are able to receive love from the Holy Spirit, from the universe, from each other. And we're in a great position to also be a beacon of love ourselves and channel love to other people as needed. So we ideally want all 33 of these heart petals opened, that each one of them has a lesson. The archangels Shamuel and Archangel Charity, they are twin flame angels, and they oversee the heart chakra and activating it for every human on planet Earth. So they are awesome angelic spirits for us to kind of dialogue with anytime that we have any issues that are centered in affairs of the heart, or we feel like maybe our heart's broken and we don't know what to do. So call upon the Archangel Shamuel and Archangel Charity, and they can offer us a little bit of solace, maybe some different perspective on how we can look at the different challenges that we're dealing with right now, and give us some clarity about what's the most important thing for us to do in order to move forward. If you don't know how to properly send out a prayer request or a petition to the teaching angels, and there's several major teaching angels But I do have a little program. It's called the Angelic Intensive, and it's just goes over some ways, different protocols that you can use to send out a letter or a prayer request to where it's worded properly and it's going to the right angel that deals with the right situation. But more importantly, it also lets you know the different signs and symbols and omens that the angelic realm will give you as a sign that they're either going to be able to grant your request right now or in the near future, or they may not be able to work with you in the way that you want them to, which doesn't mean that they're not willing to work with you, but what you're specifically asking for, they may not be able to. So if you are interested in my Angelic Intensive program, just message me either here, you can put a message in the comments and I'll get you the information about it, but it's pretty detailed. There's a lot of good stuff in there. The heart center, when we're focused in the third dimension, the heart chakra is a green with a little bit of a pink in the inside. As we are able to open up and activate and purify all of the petals of the heart chakra, then the heart center becomes more of a diamond white, like a really beautiful, beautiful white energy. So when we're carrying a lot of emotions or baggage or sadness or disappointments in our heart center, then it could be very murky and, not very pretty if you were to look at it clairvoyantly, because it's like carrying our pain. It's hugely important that we be able to purify this center and activate it, because it helps us to create a stronger foundation and be able to move across that heart bridge. That the heart chakra has so much vibrant, creative potential. It is unbelievable for us to really fathom how much creative potential is in an open heart chakra. But whenever we're able to really step over the heart center, we have the access of our higher chakras and all of the gifts that are contained within the higher chakras. If you would like to work with the Archangel Chamuel and the Archangel Charity in the dream time, then they have a beautiful etheric retreat. It's over like St. Louis, Missouri. That area of the Ozarks has a lot of crystal in the ground, like through Arkansas up into Missouri. There's these huge crystal beds. And so their etheric retreat is in that area of the United States. And so you can just ask your own highest guardian angel to escort you to this retreat so that you can gather maybe some healing or some ideas that you can bring back into your day-to-day waking life. And what you can do before you go to sleep at night is just create the intention and the desire, and just simply ask your own angel crew to provide you a safe escort to this etheric retreat, and ask, just tell them, why you want to go and what your desire is, and they will see about making it happen. As long as it's for your highest and best soul good, then they will do what they can to work with you, and as long as your intentions are pure. So just trust that. But the biggest thing in clearing our heart chakra is having intention and having desire. So the first 10 petals in the heart chakra, I think, are the most challenging for us to overcome. They're kind of have to do with more of our lower, baser ego personality. But once we're able to really purify those first 10, it's a little bit easier to activate and bridge the other petals and wake up and clear whatever debris might be contained in the other petals. So the first petal of the heart chakra is the idea of unkindness. So you just want to kind of meditate about it and see if there's a part of your nature that has a habit of being unkind. And often there's things behind that, why we're doing what we're doing. Quite often it has something to do with fear. So you might want to ask your angel team to offer you some different perspective on how you can look at that situation so that you can cultivate more kindness in your life, because that really goes a long way. The second petal is a very similar idea. It's being unfeeling or cold or aloof. The third one is feeling hurt or angry. The fourth one is the idea of jealousy. That really brings down the energy in the heart chakra, and it can create a whole bunch of problems for us. The fifth one is being very self-absorbed. The sixth petal contains the challenge of greed. The seventh one is the idea of withdrawal. The eighth is loneliness. The ninth one is withholding or meanness. The 10th one is being sad or unhappy. So once we're able to think about all of those ideas and just kind of get a reading of where we are on that subject and see if we might need to do a little bit of working on our personal pieces there, what you can do is just simply create the desire to elevate your sense of self on those ideas. Ask your angels to give you some clues of how you can look at that part of yourself in a different way and how you can treat others in a better way. So just create that intention and ask your own angels, because your angels, you are their only job. So just trust that they can help you to get the ideas that will be meaningful to you and can help you kind of turn a leaf and look at things in a different way, and therefore elevate your vibration and move past the challenge that is in that petal. So now that petal would be activated and it would be purified, and it would be open to the Holy Spirit, to being able to receive a steady stream of light and love and vibrancy and everything that we can pull in from the Holy Spirit. One of the things the angels wanted me to remind you while I'm thinking about it is that even though I may not be able to answer your question directly, if you can get some clarity about what your desire is today with this video, then just trust that by hook or crook, your angels will help you recognize the answer to your question. And it might be while I'm talking about the heart chakra. It might be while I'm doing a reading for somebody else. It might be just coming out of the blue, but just trust that if you have clarity about your question and you're willing to hear not the right answer, but you're willing to hear the truth of the matter, then your angels will help to get you an answer to what you can do today. Sometimes we get very set that we want to hear a certain thing. And if that's not the truth of the matter, then your angels are not going to, tell you that just to make you happy, because it wouldn't be serving any long-term purpose. So just trust that if you have purity of intention and you're willing to hear the truth, then somehow or another you'll be able to get a clue today that can help you to move to the next stage. And that's all we need. We just need one little clue, and that can help us to turn the whole energetic around, and everything can move forward from that point. So after we've been able to really purify and clear up some of the first 10 petals in the heart chakra, then we move on to the ideas of activating unconditional love for nature, for animals, for ourselves, for our partner, for other people, even for our challenges in this lifetime, even for our karmic pieces of business. So these next petals are all about unconditional love and being in a position that we can love and send out love and give love without an attachment to how it comes back to us. That is quite a turning point, let me tell you. So those are the next 7 petals in the heart chakra. So there's 33 total petals in the heart center. So there is a lot of work to do in that arena. But if we can just keep our mind open, keep our heart open, I think that makes it easier for us to work with this area and begin to get it more active and more vibrant. And once we're able to do that, when it's totally activated, it will feel like warm honey in your heart center. So I don't know, there's some of you that might have experienced this before, but I call it a heart awakening. But especially if you've ever had a baby and you just remember that first time that you saw your baby and you held that sweet little bundle in your arms, and you remember how your heart just had that boom, that huge rush of warm energy, almost like warm honey running through your heart center. That is what we aim to live like all the time, with an open heart chakra. And that's kind of the feeling that that's what it feels like, is whenever it's fully activated. It is it's actually almost orgasmic, that it is so huge and so just this crisp diamond light energy is very, very powerful. And even though I don't have children of my own, I've had that experience many times, especially in different channeling situations when I'm bringing in information from our loved ones, doing Reiki and that sort of thing. So I've had that activation, and definitely it is something that you want to strive for. It is well worth it. And we want to live that way all the time. It's very challenging for us to do that because we're in this dimension where we're experiencing all of this polarization, but we knew about that before our soul came in, and we wanted this challenge and we accepted the challenge. We knew that it would be, quite a paradigm shift for us, but we were up to it before we came in. So anytime you start to feel sorry for yourself, or you're like, man, I don't know why I came here, you just want to hold on to that truth that your soul saw some value in coming here. And so let's engage with it with the best attitude that we can, and that will help to see you through all of the rest of it. So the 18th petal in the heart chakra is the idea of empathy. The 19 is compassion. Number 20 is all about caring. The 21st one is being in a place of forgiveness, where we can, put things behind us and let go of our attachments to the past. Hugely important thing. The 22nd one is the idea of forgiveness for this earth experience. Sometimes it's so believable, and really it's an illusion, but it's a very good illusion, and we take it as being real. So our earth experience at different times has been very challenging. So we want to just kind of hold on to a different perspective and trust that even when it's challenging, it's hugely valuable. The 24th is the idea of warm-heartedness, being able to be gracious and warm-hearted. The 25th is the idea of being welcoming. The 26th one is the idea of being generous with our heart, with our resources, with our knowledge, our tools, our skills, and being willing to share that with the world. The 27th one is the idea of unconditional love. And that one is, it's like when we're in that place where we can give that unconditional love and unconditional giving, that is a very powerful dynamic, because the universe knows whenever we're giving something away, if we are expecting something back. They know why we're doing what we're doing. They can just read us like a book. So it's so important that anytime that you give somebody something, that you're in that state of mind where it doesn't matter how it comes back to you, or if it ever comes back to you. What's curious is that when we can give without worrying about how it comes back, is that it always does come back. We can't give it from that viewpoint, but I think it helps us to be more generous and being in a better giving place of our time, our love, our ideas, our resources, our creativity. So that's hugely important. The 28th is the idea of love for humanity. That's quite the challenge for us in this day and age, when especially our political arena is so polarized. But it is a hugely important petal and condition and a challenge. And if we're able to overcome that one, we have really activated a huge part of the heart center. So the 29th is the idea of unconditional love. Number 30 is transcendent love. 31 is being able to connect to the cosmic heart. And the 32nd is cosmic love. And the 33rd is oneness with the Holy Spirit. And so all of these are, most of us in this lifetime, we don't activate all of those. And a lot of times it's because of fear, for whatever reasons, that we get into fear places, and fear that if somebody else is right about their position, then that means we're wrong. And then that means like a whole can of worms unraveled, and it causes us to doubt ourselves and to go into all sorts of what I call going down a rabbit hole. But it is our challenge to activate as much as we can. And in this era where we're actually so supported for being able to really step up our game with our ascension process and overcome these challenges and activate a pure open heart. And it's because it's like the Holy Spirit is just pouring in all of this elevated, high vibrational love and light energy. Today is called the Lion's Gate, and the sign of Leo is just kind of coming in with this huge burst of vibrant energy that is purifying, very fiery in nature. And that means that it can burn the debris that are clogging our heart chakra. So I like to think of it that way, but it's a great way for us to kind of meditate and ask that the angels sit with us and kind of clue us in on where we're holding on to blocks and where we're holding on to issues from the past that are stagnating apart one of the petals in our heart chakra. And then we need to take some measures to work that piece. My teacher always called that working our personal pieces. So use different tools that are available to us. Meditation is a tool. There's all sorts of different types of counseling and therapies. The sweat lodge is a great tool. The soul clearing is a great tool. I have several meditation and different types of visualization exercises on my Angelic Connection ebook. That is, it's a free ebook. You can sign up for it right here. I'll put the link in the description box later, but you can sign up for that on my page here if you're not already. But it has some tools in there that are free for us to use. But one of the things that they really want to kind of highlight today is the idea of all of us getting more comfortable with using our skills of visualization and really upping our game on that level. Because when we're able to visualize something, it can have an effect on the different levels, the different petals, and the challenges that we're holding within those petals of our heart chakra. So visualizing light and love in there, visualizing the angels going into the petals and clearing away debris. One of the another couple of angels, of archangels, that can help with this purifying process is the Archangel Metatron and the Archangel Mary. So combined with the Archangel Shamiel and the Archangel Charity, you can call upon any one of those archangels and just send out a voice from your heart to help you kind of transcend whatever sort of a challenge or situation that you have going on. And just trust that you will be able to receive the idea of how they can help you. And you might just get an idea. It might just kind of like drift across your mind. You may be watching something like this, and there's a process that just kind of jumps out at you, and you're like, yeah, I can do that. But just hold it in your heart. If you're willing to be receptive, they will get you a clue. But you are the one that has to take the action on the clue. That is such a hugely important idea for us to get. We have to be willing to be responsible about how we came to that place, and be responsible for taking control of our healing dynamic and stalking out whatever resources we need, whether it's doing daily meditations. I do yoga every morning with the sunrise. I really don't like to get up that early. And honestly, I have to rely on my angels to help me get up that early and get out to see the sunrise. I also do my best to witness the sunset. But yoga is one of the ways that it helps me to kind of heal whatever pieces are like out of joint, and bring to mind where I might be holding on to like a disappointment from the past, or a relationship that didn't go the way I wanted it to. So that's my way. But we all can find a way. My sister doesn't like to do yoga, but there's other ways that you can use that that can help to do this work. Like Reiki is a great resource, eurythmia, different types of moving meditations like Tai Chi, Qigong. Those are good processes that I really like as well. But there's something for everybody. You just have to be willing to keep your mind open and your heart open, and then engage with one way of following through with it. So we have to engage. If we don't engage, then we're not going to get anything different. That's a very important truth there. So we have to be willing to do something different and to make adjustments. And we may have to make several adjustments before we get a real breakthrough. All right. So, hey, Elizabeth. Hi, Janie. Hi, Cindy. Hey, Courtney. So welcome, everybody. I have a couple of streams of feeds, so sometimes I get distracted looking which way, but Maria Lupita, she wants to know if I have a message from my mother and from my grandmother. All right. So Maria, I feel like that your mother and your grandmother, they feel very spiritual to me, and I feel like they are especially connected to Mother Mary, and I get roses with them as well. So they are definitely visiting you today and just want to be a blessing to you. And the rose is like the highest vibrational flower, and it ties right in with our teaching today on the heart chakra, because it really aligns with the heart center. And whenever it opens, it kind of opens up like a rose. So use the roses as a way to kind of honor your mother and your grandmother. And anytime that you feel like you want to have a visit with them, you can just find a quiet place in your house, maybe light a candle, burn some incense. And if you have like a little rose, you can sit in a vase by you and just ask your angels to connect to them and to let them know you would like to have a little visit. And then you have to really kind of open up your heart center and feel them when they come in. And for a lot of us, me including, because I'm very type A and kind of, want to get things done. But when we're working with spirit, we have to go into the feminine receptive side of ourselves. So when you want to hear your mother, feel your grandmother around, you have to really just open up your heart, allow yourself to receive that their impressions and what it is that they might want to be sharing with you. It's very challenging because we're so set that in order for us to give anything validation here in this life, that we have to be able to hear it or see it or experience it with our five senses. But when you're working with spirit, you have to use your higher senses, and you have to transcend the idea that everything has to come through your lower 5 senses, because it's just not going to, for the most part. Occasionally, you might be able to see like a shadow, or see a little vision, or hear something, but they use your higher seeing. Actually, next week I have a summer psychic class that that I'm going to go over some just a medium. I'm sorry, I'm getting altered. A mediumship class. So I have 5 classes in my summer psychic classes, and so mediumship is one of them. And the main purpose behind this mediumship class is the idea of karmic and lineage healing. So I think it's important, in order for us to break karma, that we do whatever healing we can possibly do on our family lineage. So a lot of times, unfortunately, a lot of our karma comes through the family lineage, and it's important that we do what we can to break that up. But there's more information about that on my page if you're interested, but it'll be a fun class. Okay, so post your questions in the comments. Even if you already posted it a few minutes ago, the feed is going by. Hello, Janice from Minnesota. Hey, Jane. Hi there. Hey, Alethea. Go ahead and post your questions again, so that way they don't scroll by so fast that I can't see them. So Amanda Vega would like to know, she would like to hear encouragement from her angels. So hi, Amanda. Listen, whenever you feel like you would like to communicate with your angels, you have to make time for them, just like we make time for other important relationships in our life, like our spouse or our children or our best friend. Make time to create and maintain and take it to another level, your relationship with your most holy guardian angel. So that might look like a special place in your house where you can have like a little angel altar set up. And you don't have to do that, but you could. You can leave some pretty crystals on the table, or some candles, or some incense, but find a special place and ask them to come in and to sit with you, and just roll it over. Just have a conversation in your mind with what sorts of things you would like to know from them, or what is concerning you. But just that relationship with our most holy guardian angel is one of the most important ones that we can cultivate in this lifetime. For one good reason, it is always with us. Our holy guardian angel is always with us. Other people in our life can be very special, but we can't depend that they'll always be with us. So Cindy Novak writes in, I recently got some challenging news. I'm hoping my angels can guide me through that. So Cindy, one of the things that we have to kind of wrap our mind around is that throughout our entire journey, we're going to be presented with challenges. And a lot of times they're coordinated from our own angelic crew. We have karmic guides, we have timing guides, we have all of these angels and spirit guides that are helping to orchestrate lessons, and especially if we have karma with other people. So they get together with their angels and they coordinate different sorts of events, and they never will do that until they know that we have enough whatever it is that we need to overcome that lesson. So always trust that if you have a challenge in front of you, that you have the foundation underneath of you to be able to engage with that challenge and overcome it in a good way. You just have to make up your mind to meet it head on. And once you make up your mind that I'm going to, go in and take care of this from the highest and best and most creative place and creative way that I can, there's this huge thing that happens that it's like our angels get behind us, they get under us, and they help us to have the energy and the creativity, the vibrancy, whatever it is that we need to pull all the stops to overcome it. So just trust that once you make up your mind to engage with it, creatively, I think is a clue for you. A lot of times people, it's like everybody does they handle something from the same perspective. Like, you get cancer and they say, okay, you got to do chemotherapy. That's kind of like the way, but it doesn't have to be the way. That's where your angels are suggesting creativity. And so that means forging your own path. And that's not uncomfortable. A lot of times we don't like to do that because we're doubting ourselves when we're thinking, well, heck, what if I'm really wrong on this? And what if everybody else is right? But I feel like that is a hugely important thing, is using your creativity, your foundation, and going into your heart to kind of discern, what's the most powerful way to move through this. All right, so Valerie writes in, can you help me connect to my angels to get my baby boy back from the state? Oh my goodness, so Valerie, that is quite a challenge. Okay, the first thing, Valerie, that for you, and not just you, but for everybody listening, it's not up to me. Don't ever think that you have to get somebody else's help to do something with your angels. Your angels are willing to help you. Now, the ideas that you want to work with are connecting to the angels of your baby, connecting to all of the angels of all of the parties that have kind of put this into motion. There's quite a bit of work to do in order to be able to go from where you are to where you want to be with your baby. So you may have to do some making up or some apologizing. Atonement comes to mind. There's some hoops to jump through in order to do this. So you just have to kind of get some clarity and trust that you have it within you to do the healing work, to pull yourself back together, and to kind of step up into a higher aspect of yourself. That's your challenge right now, is to step up into a higher aspect of yourself. And once the universe sees that you're willing to work your personal pieces and to kind of, I want to say, do battle with your personal demons, that's a big thing. It's not easy, but it's definitely doable. We just have to make up our mind that we're bigger and stronger and that we can handle it. It's it's a hard thing to get your mind into from where you are. So, but you just have to trust that you are capable, that you're the one that has to know that. I can see it in you, but you have to know it for yourself. But nobody can do this for you. you have to engage with it on all levels. So prayer is really valuable, but also visualization, meditation, being willing to do the work on the physical level. But it takes both visualization, the meditation, the prayer work, the personal healing work, but also going out and doing all of the things that you need to do on a physical level. Alrighty. So Wendy writes in, I had a dream and I saw a symbol with two circles that had an eye in the middle. What is this suggesting? So Wendy, that is so cool. So when I look at that vision through your energy, I see a symbol. I call it the Vesica Pisces. It's a sacred geometry symbol. To me, it's an opportunity to kind of up-level the idea of your twin flame, connecting to a twin flame, or doing some healing with a twin flame. But there is, and also there's an opportunity to do some healing and activation of the third eye. It's a symbol of the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and that balancing of those two ideas. So while we're here in a physical, we choose a polarity, like you chose the feminine polarity, I chose the feminine polarity. The minute that we made the leap into these physical bodies, we're missing our counterpart, our masculine part of ourself. And so we're looking for that in our relationships. And so we're looking for that equal and opposite balance of ourself. So it's an opportunity for you to do some healing within that realm. Actually, next week in my summer psychic classes, I have one of the classes is going to be about sacred geometry. So this is like a personal symbol for you, and it's kind of like an activator. It stimulates some of the cells in our DNA, things that we've learned in other lifetimes. That's what sacred geometry is about. It's about us. It's about our birthright. It's about our connection to the universe, to each other. Sacred geometry is kind of like it's kind of like a wake up. And even if our ego personality, we might think it's pretty or it's cool, but our cells get very excited when they see these images, because it just invokes so much more than the little me. So that is so cool that you dream about sacred geometry. I love that. All right. So Stephanie McKay writes in, my daughter is having stomach pain and she's only 6 years old. I am at a loss. I'm very worried. I can't sleep at night. I'm so worried about this. Stephanie, yes, definitely. I mean, I could feel the sadness all the way across time and space. What I suggest that I'm just feeling that angels are just wanting to bring your attention to is doing some kind of meditation work with your angels, and ask your daughter's angels to sit with you and to help you kind of dial in on some different areas that are causing this pain. So I feel like there's a combination of things there. And for one thing, she's a very highly evolved soul. She's an old soul, high vibrational little girl. Some of the things that the way that you were raised, the different like lifestyle wise that you were raised, and you think, well, this is how I raised my daughter. I think you're going to have to make adjustments and look for different tools and different ways of nurturing her, of feeding her, especially high vibrational food, think clean food, and that to me means unprocessed food, and just dialing in. And you're going to have to experiment a lot on that factor. And I hate to say it, but also I'm doing, one of my classes is a muscle testing class. And so this will be a perfect opportunity to work with muscle testing. And it's like the universe has offered us all kinds of tools, and they're out of the box, but that doesn't mean that they're not very valuable. And I just feel like this is a time and an era for us to use more of our natural tools. So muscle testing would be a good way to discern what types of things that she can stomach, and how much, and how often do you need to change, because there's like a healing curve there for her, where you're getting her nourishment, but also healing some of the damage done. And then another one that's more difficult to work with is helping her to learn to shield herself from all of the icky stuff that's going on, all of the chaos on TV, on the news. And it's the idea of not being able to stomach this dimension. And so doing a lot of prayer work, but working across time and space to her highest guardian angel. Ask your highest guardian angel to sit with you. Call her highest guardian angel to sit with you as well, and just go over some ideas to help her feel more safe, to help her trust that even though it's a very chaotic time, that it's important that we engage with it the best that we can. But you're going to have to be creative, and you probably won't be able to raise your daughter the way you were raised, in the way maybe your best friend is raising her daughter. You're going to have to kind of go outside the box in order to get some answers, and that can be very helpful for her. So Katie writes in, so what is going on with all of the shootings and the mass murders all over? Where are the angels? Why didn't they protect those people? So Katie, gosh, that's a big question. And there's well, one of the things that we want to just kind of wrap our mind around is to stay out of judgment. Do our best to not judge how things unfold. When we can stay out of judgment, it's like if there are karmic pieces of business for the victims, and on whatever level, or for the shooters, then it's like we're not adding to the mix. And that is a very hard thing for me. My angels have to remind me quite often, to look at it in a different perspective. But what you can do to be helpful is to step up into the high priestess part of yourself. That is a huge thing for all of us to kind of wrap our mind into, is that we're not at the effect of everything. We always think, oh, it's just little me, but we are all aspects of the divine creator. And so we have way more multi-dimensional creativeness and powerfulness than what our ego personality can really imagine. But just imagine yourself stepping up into the part of you that is a high priestess, that is an aspect of the divine, and just create a space of grace and love and healing for all of the victims that are moving into the light, that just kind of send out the ideas that they be at peace with their soul journey, that trust that their family and friends and special loved ones that are left behind, that they'll be able to move forward as well. And then do the same thing for the families that are left here to mourn, but send out that love and really step up your game, and I think that will be very helpful. But there's a bigger picture at play that has to do with polarity and light and dark, good and bad, evil and beautiful, all of those different qualities. It's the universe's way of kind of challenging us to really dig deep and to grab another gear. And we always have to, it's like we really have to have a pause for thought when we up level and go to another way of thinking of things. But the big thing is to stay out of judgment. I think that will be most helpful. All right. Hi, Julie. Hey, Judy. Carrie, hey there. Vanessa writes in, do I have any messages from my dad, who is buried in Austria, and I live in London, so I don't get to go to his grave very often. So Vanessa, your dad is not lingering in Austria. So don't feel like the only time that you can properly show respect for him or have a conversation with him is whenever you're in Austria. You can have a wonderful conversation right there in London. Just, make the time for it. You might find a picture of him that you really like and set it up in a special room. Ask your angels to sit with you and just call upon the spirit of your father to be present and to just kind of sit with you for a while and share some conversation, share your ideas or memories or whatever. Just let your heart lead, but don't ever feel like he's lingering there. That's where his physical is, but his soul is what animated the physical body. His soul is what brought life to the physical body. And so at the time of death, the soul pulls out of the physical and moves into the astral planes, where the astral body is appropriate for expressing and experiencing life on the astral realities. So don't feel like he's there and that he's gone. So, but I do feel like he is around you and really wants to be able to kind of share some time with you, and he doesn't want you to feel guilty that you're there in London, that you haven't gone back to Austria. All right. So, all right. Well, we're kind of running out of time, but for those of you that didn't I didn't get to answer your questions, just trust that your own angels can help you to get the insight on whatever it is that is burning on your mind. Sometimes we have to just put it out there that this is what I would like to know. And then we have to just trust that it's going to be answered in one way or another, and let it go. And once we're able to do that, it kind of frees up the energy so that there's like, we're not creating resistance to the answer. So just trust that, put it out there and let it go, and know that one way or another, your own angels are going to kind of get you a little bit of insight about whatever it is that's on your mind. So I hope that you've enjoyed this circle today, and I will look forward to seeing you again next week. I have my summer psychic school, so I won't be on with my Facebook Live, but if you would like to join my summer psychic school, I have information right here at the top of the page. I'm going to host it on a private Facebook group, so it will be very similar to today. All of the videos are there. I'm planning on 2 hours, and you can ask questions, and it'll be, not as many people, so I'll be able to answer a lot more questions. But anyhow, if you would like to have more information about that, just message me, but the information will be at the very top of this page. So I hope you've enjoyed the presentation today, and I look forward to hearing from you all again. Thanks a lot. I'm Marvina Meek. Bye-bye.